The year is 2025. The gaming world buzzes with excitement over innovative titles pushing boundaries. Yet behind the scenes, a legal battle is brewing, casting a shadow over the industry. At the heart of this conflict lies a game that has dared to challenge the reigning titan of monster catching. Developed by the relatively unknown studio Pocket Pair, burst onto the scene, capturing the attention of gamers with its unique blend of creature collecting and surprisingly dark themes. However, this success was not without consequence. Nintendo, the behemoth behind the franchise, took notice. In a move that sent shockwaves through the gaming community, Nintendo filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair, alleging that infringed on its intellectual property rights. The lawsuit, focusing on the core mechanics of catching and battling creatures, has sparked a heated debate about inspiration versus imitation in the video game industry. At the heart of the issue are 3 Japanese patents held by Nintendo, which the company claims directly violates. The lawsuit, seeking a significant sum in damages and a potential injunction against, has left many wondering about the future of both games. Is this a case of a large corporation flexing its legal muscle to stifle competition? Or is Nintendo justified in protecting its intellectual property from what it perceives as a blatant rip-off? The answers are far from clear, but one thing is certain: the outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications for the gaming industry as a whole. The crux of Nintendo's lawsuit hinges on 3 specific patents related to the core mechanics of the franchise. The most contentious of these is patent JP7545191, which covers the capture and utilization of creatures in battles within a virtual environment. This patent, according to Nintendo, is directly infringed upon by its use of PAL spheres to capture and deploy creatures known as PALs in combat. Nintendo argues that the PAL sphere's functionality, allowing players to throw the sphere at a creature to capture it, is too similar to the iconic Pokeball mechanic to be a mere coincidence. Further strengthening Nintendo's claim is the visual similarity between the PAL sphere and the Pokeball. Both are spherical objects that, when used to capture a creature, emit a beam of energy to ensnare their target. This visual resemblance, Nintendo argues, could lead to consumer confusion, with players mistakenly associating with the franchise. While the lawsuit centers on these specific patents, it also raises broader questions about the nature of intellectual property protection in the video game industry. Can a company patent a game mechanic as ubiquitous as capturing creatures? Where is the line drawn between drawing inspiration from existing games and outright copying? These are complex questions with no easy answers, and the outcome of this lawsuit could have significant implications for how game mechanics are protected in the future. Faced with mounting legal pressure, Pocket Pair has not remained idle. Since the lawsuit's filing, the studio has released several updates, 2 seemingly aimed at addressing some of Nintendo's concerns. One of the most significant changes came in the November 2024 update, which removed the ability for players to throw PAL spheres to summon their PALs. Originally, players could toss a PAL sphere to instantly summon their chosen creature, a mechanic Nintendo argued was too close to the Pokeball's functionality. Post-update, players must now place a static summoning point for their PALs, a change that, while subtle, distances its mechanics from those of... Further modifications arrived in the May 2025 update, this time targeting its gliding system. Previously, players could ride certain PALs capable of flight, using them to soar through the game world. The update, however, removed this ability, requiring players to craft and equip a separate glider item for aerial traversal. While PALs still provide passive buffs to gliding speed and distance, they can no longer be ridden for flight. This change, while seemingly minor, further distances core gameplay loop from the creature-riding mechanics found in recent titles. These alterations, while likely made in response to the lawsuit, have sparked a mixed reaction from the community. Section 4. A community divided between support and frustration. The ongoing legal battle and subsequent changes have ignited a firestorm of debate within the game's community. Players find themselves torn between supporting Pocket Pair's right to create and Nintendo's efforts to protect its intellectual property. The sentiment is far from unanimous, with some praising Pocket Pair for taking steps to differentiate from, while others express disappointment over what they perceive as the removal of core features. The debate rages on forums and social media, with players passionately voicing their opinions on the matter. Adding fuel to the fire is the emergence of mods seeking to restore to its pre-lawsuit state. One such mod, created by a user known as Primerinabi, reverts the gliding mechanic changes, allowing players to once again ride their flying pals. The mod's popularity speaks volumes about the community's desire to retain its unique identity. Another mod attempts to reintroduce the throw-to-release functionality for PAL spheres, albeit with some limitations. This mod's existence highlights the challenges Pocket Pair faces in balancing its creative vision with the legal realities of the situation. The modding community's response underscores the complex issues at play. On the one hand, it demonstrates the passion and dedication of its player base, eager to preserve the game they enjoy. On the other, it raises questions about the line between fan enthusiasm and potential copyright infringement. Section 5 Pocket Pair Bites Back, a David versus Goliath battle. Despite the lawsuit's looming presence, Pocket Pair has remained defiant, refusing to back down without a fight. The studio has issued a formal rebuttal to Nintendo's claims, denying any wrongdoing and asserting that is a product of original creation, not imitation. Central to Pocket Pair's defense is the argument of prior art, a legal concept that seeks to demonstrate that a patented invention is not truly novel. In their rebuttal, Pocket Pair points to games like, and all of which feature elements similar to those patented by Nintendo, as evidence that the mechanics in question are not unique to. Furthermore, Pocket Pair has vehemently denied accusations of using generative AI or stealing three-dimensional models from allegations that, while not officially part of the lawsuit, have circulated online. This firm stance against accusations of plagiarism suggests that Pocket Pair is prepared to engage in a protracted legal battle to defend its creation. Adding further intrigue to the situation are Pocket Pair's ambitious plans for the future. The studio has expressed interest in bringing to the Nintendo Switch 2, a move that, if successful, would place their game directly on Nintendo's hardware. This bold move, some speculate, is a strategic maneuver to demonstrate that, despite its similarities to, is a unique IP with its own identity and audience. As the legal battle between Pocket Pair and Nintendo unfolds, the implications for the broader gaming industry are profound. Because of these patents, Nintendo has Bethesda's Doom: The Dark Ages and many other games at risk of getting sued for patent infringement. In Doom: The Dark Ages, Doomguy rides a dragon, a game mechanic that is patented by Nintendo. This raises a critical question: how many other beloved games could find themselves entangled in similar legal disputes? The gaming community is watching closely, with developers and players alike voicing their concerns. The outcome of this lawsuit could set a precedent, potentially stifling creativity and innovation within the industry. Smaller studios, in particular, fear that they might not have the resources to defend themselves against such powerful entities. In the face of these challenges, some developers are calling for a re-evaluation of the patent system itself, arguing that it should be reformed to better balance the protection of intellectual property with the need to foster innovation. Whether this controversy will lead to meaningful changes remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the stakes are high, and the future of game development hangs in the balance. As we await the next chapter in this unfolding drama, the industry holds its breath, hoping for a resolution that will allow creativity to flourish without fear of legal retribution.